The lithography process that is like particularly advanced that can handle the absurd sort of production processes they use now. So basically, the production processes are rated on how small they're capable of working at, like the level. And TSMC is currently working on chips to release later this year, which are at the 3 nanometer level, which is, as you can imagine, pretty unfathomably small.
Yes, your fingernails grow 1 nanometer a second. So 3 seconds worth of fingernail growth.
So the process that makes that work is something called extreme ultraviolet lithography, which we're not going to get too far into how the process works. But
well, from what I understand, it's pretty cool, though. That's the thing. Like, in order to generate this extreme UV, they vaporize tin. They turn tin into like a vapor using one kind of laser. Then they use another kind of laser, like to kind of point through it to create this extreme UV. But the process of pointing those lasers requires mirrors that are the smoothest mirrors, like smoother than certain brains, are smoothed down to the 1 atom level.
Yeah, picture your bathroom mirror. They won't cut it.
Ain't going to cut it for extreme UV.
It's not going to cut it.
Smooth down to 1 atom. Nothing would sit on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of gesturing my fingers in the air.
I can see it,
as if I can kind of
like... You're kind of like stroking a mirror.
Like, I assume it's like a solid that feels like a liquid.
God, I'd love to touch one of them, but I don't think they would. I don't think they would let me do it. But there is one single company in the entire world that can make this equipment. I mean, it's a company called ASML. It's a Dutch company. If you think the Dutch are only good for building clogs and the
dikes
and the chips that you put mayo on in like the cones that you can get in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. I was going to say poutine, but no, that's
the Canadian. Yeah. No, they serve chips in these cones in Amsterdam. I remember I went to Amsterdam over 10 years ago, but that's one of my most striking memories. Anyway, not just good for that, they also have this company that is so integral to everything bit of modern technology, basically. It was actually spun off from Philips, which is a company you might be aware of. ASML spun off from that. One company makes the equipment that does this particularly precise process. They have literally a functional monopoly. If something goes wrong with their process, if ASML is not able to build the equipment that can do like 3 nanometer production, or they're not able to get enough of them to TSMC's production facility, keep in mind that each one of these EUV machines costs like well north of $100 million. Building a chip fab, if you sat down today and was like, oh, I'd love to, I'm a scrappy kind of entrepreneurial kind of guy. I want to set up a chip foundry.
Yeah, I'm gonna take on TSMC. Okay, 700 steps. You say, okay. How much is it going to cost me to set up step 1?
Yeah, well, to set up a functional chip fab, conservatively, that's going to cost you about $30 billion.
Yeah. Every step in this process is just insanely complicated. It's like a piece of ASML gear for each step is costing you, at a very minimum, millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, this is not something that you could just do a startup for.
No. And this is why, we talked about, the Intel and the AMD model of these fully integrated, like verticalized businesses. This is why nowadays...
Welcome to Down Round, the podcast about tech, business, and culture. I'm your host, James Hennessy, and this is my co-host, Ralph Dixon. I hate to do the sales pitch straight out the gate, but this is so important. For just $7 a month, you can get 2 episodes a week of incredible tech analysis. We may not take ourselves too seriously, but the analysis is second to none. You could literally run an investment fund off the advice we give. The alpha is limitless. Why wouldn't you pay $7? You're leaving money on the table.